EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to the StubHub Center, 20 miles south of downtown L.A. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Indianapolis Colts and the Los Angeles Chargers. This will be taken very short. And a nice job there on special teams as he's taken down at the 14-yard line. They'll run. This is Melvin Gordon. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
14 yards is the pickup there and a Charger first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Get out.
A second down throw for Prescott. Sets up the screen to Gordon. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14.
Here we go, 46.
Prescott. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. This will be taken at the 10. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Hines, his first carry. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. A gain of 3, second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's Hines on a toss play. And now look at him go. Past the 20. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Nyheim Hines, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Colts are going to take a first-quarter lead. And maybe starting the campaign for another Offensive Player of the Week award in the AFC.
Yeah, strike up the band, right? They're going to lead him along, and the band being that offensive line, he's locked into the rhythm of what they're doing up front, and he's definitely off to that great start, a 2nd straight week.
This will be fielded at the 8. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Prescott now on second down. Flush to his right. And some room to work. And he slides to avoid the hit. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a third down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Gun. Switch.
Third and short yardage, Prescott. And unable to connect. If he had caught it, it would have been a first down. Instead, it's fourth. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. The Colts offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
They begin the drive with Hines. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Yeah, and that was a safety that came through and made the play. But there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker. And we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it. Somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now.
Let's go, get out. Play.
On 1st and 10, Prescott. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, 3rd down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field. This is their third drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
Here's a handoff to Hines to begin the drive. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down. Now a toss play. It's Hines. Big hold of the 30. And finally taken down at the 36-yard line. That's good for 21 yards and a first down. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, not him loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will. This is Hines. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. On the tackle, Tyrann Mathieu.
In today's NFL, you hear all the time about stretching the field and creating space in order to run plays. A toss play will help accomplish that because now you're pushing a defense to chase you all the way to the edges and to the sideline. That's a nice run, probing now early to try and get things done later.
And he's got his man, Hilton. Back with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Colts in possession of the football to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10.
Let's go. Let's go. 15.
Now it's Hines. And some room to maneuver. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
They run with Hines. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give the Colts 13 yards and a first down.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for them. Show them that you're supposed to get the football.
The Colts with a first red zone opportunity in the ball game. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. Here's Mack. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Let's go. Let's go. 15.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. And the trick play doesn't work. Good reaction there defensively, and it'll be 4th down. And Aguayo's kick is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
Here comes the Chargers offense now back out onto the field. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet, trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
14 yards is the pickup there and a Charger 1st down. They go back to Gordon here on 1st down. And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
And that's complete to the right side. It's Allen. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down. The Chargers on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This time it's 3rd and 3. Prescott to throw it. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Here's Hines. And he's got some space here. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. He'll wind up getting 11 on that one. And that's going to lead to a 3rd down. And they'll go on the ground. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give the Colts 13 yards and a 1st down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Two minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to Southern California after this.
Double. 36. I said.
And they'll run it here. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Sean Lee, the Pro Bowler, there for the tackle.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Throwing on third down, Smith going up top. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, it's one thing to grab it with one hand, but when you make a catch of that distance, quite another.
Yes, sir. I mean, that one right there, we keep talking about the high-flying antics that we're seeing from receivers nowadays. Doesn't matter what spot they start in. But when it actually does happen in the heat of battle, brings me right out of my seat.
Hey, back up. Check 50.
They'll try to run with Hines. And no signal yet. I don't think he got in. He didn't. They'll mark him at the 1. Now the Chargers are going to look up here and signal for a timeout, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. And now the Chargers are going to signal for another timeout, as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. They come out here in the I.
Liz. Orange. I said.
On 3rd down, that's Hines. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. And Aguayo able to knock it through. And that'll push the lead up to 13-0. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Charger first.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
First down, Prescott. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up 2nd down. Now the Chargers hustling, trying to get up and get set. Second down, Prescott. He's going to wind up and air it out. He's got it at the 15. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Second half ready to get underway. The Colts with a lead, and they will receive the football. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Colts. They'll have it first here to start quarter number 3. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Now we've got whistles and a flag. Looked like one of the Colts linemen might have jumped. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. Second down and long. Play action. It's Smith. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Joey Bosa in there to get him for a loss of 5.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Derwin James with a pick. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Ezekiel Ansah. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. So second and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. To throw is Prescott. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. So left side, it's complete. And he's brought down, but not before reaching the 8-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. First and goal, Melvin Gordon. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only a yard on the pickup there. Second and goal.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on second and goal. Throwing, Prescott. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. They get only a yard there. Now it's third and goal. This is third and goal. Still looking for the first points of the game. Here's Prescott. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
And Sturgis able to knock it through. And they will indeed get on the board here, but still trailing. It's now 13-3. So a decent drive there to start the third quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
Let's go. Let's go. 15. 15.
And they'll start on the ground with Hines. And not a whole lot doing there, so he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hines. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give the Colts 13 yards and a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now they'll run it on the toss. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11. They'll try the air now with Smith. Forced out to his left. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off by Jaleel Ladau. And the return stops at the 39-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10.
26.
Following the interception, here's Prescott. And that is incomplete. He was looking for Mike Williams that time. That'll bring up 2nd down. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Oh, he can't hang on to it. Almost intercepted. They would have loved the first pick of the game there, but at least it does get him to 4th down. Here's Drew Kaiser now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And how about this, a fake? And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. They fake the punt. It doesn't work out. Well, not only did they try to fake it, they put the ball in the arm of their punter, and it didn't work out.
Not the quarterback.
No.
The punter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Risky.
It is so funny because when it works, genius. When it doesn't work, not so smart.
Not so genius.
In this case, not so genius, but I do admire that he went for it.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. A gain of 11 that time, and a Colts 1st down.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. Down to the 30 after a gain of 3.
Not much happening there on 1st down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Yeah.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a third and about 5. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. It's a 5-yard pickup, but spotted a few chain links short of the first, so a little bit of decision time here coming up on 4th down. So now the field goal unit trots out there for the 3rd time tonight. From the right hash, this from an even 40 yards out. And Aguayo's kick is good. And the lead stretches. 16-3 now. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. Now Prescott. On the right side, caught by Green. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Prescott now. Staying on his feet. And shedding the tackle, and now some room. Oh, Prescott stripped.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Looking to throw. Prescott. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
The Chargers on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
You go 46.
Now Prescott. He's got a man. It's Williams. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Charger first.
46.
A 1st down throw for Prescott. It's complete to Williams. And he'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a 1st down again. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got...
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. T.J. Green with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And space opened up a bit. He's able to take this up past the 10. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And they're going to face a 3rd down. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And they'll bring him down right around the 13. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot.
Looking for Benjamin, but it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Kenny Vaccaro. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
They run again with Hines. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Colts on 3rd down. They've converted a 1/3 of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 14. And they'll go on the ground. And he gets it down to the 32. He gets a good chunk of yards there, 8 all told, but they're still looking at a 4th down.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points, so while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And last time wasn't pretty. 1 play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens.
Let's go, get out, get out.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He's airing it out for Williams. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down. Charles, I think back to your earlier statement about the visitors being the underdogs needing to win that turnover battle. And this defense, they forced 2 turnovers so far. A big reason why they lead this game.
Yeah, and I know defenses always talk about getting turnovers in bunches, getting those takeaways. 2's not a bunch, but it's plenty in this game.
And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. T.J. Green with a pick. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's got room. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Right back to him on first down. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Finally, defensively, they have a little clip to show positive for actually stopping him running the football.
It's been a really long night for them, hasn't it? So they got a little bit of a win there, but let's face it, the vision that he's had running the football has carried his feet to the open spaces and the big yardage all night long.
Down right around the 25. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, and finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass, and that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. To throw on 2nd down. Gilbert got a man over the middle. It's Williams. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. At 5 yards on the play there, as the drive will continue. On first down, Gilbert. Allen's got it over the middle. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Gilbert. And he'll be brought down by the Colts.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
On 3rd down, Gilbert. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Got to be wary of throwing an interception here because the defense knows they're going to get tested deep. That's why they're going to put a couple of extra guys back there to try and prevent that.
Yeah, late in the 4th quarter here, trying to preserve the lead. Here's Drew Kaiser now. On, we think, to punt, though he's faked it earlier, but he was unsuccessful. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And they will get to this one and down it at the 13-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. They come into enemy territory, and I don't care what the matchup is in the National Football League. You're up like this late in the game on the road. This feels pretty good.
Oh, it feels fantastic. Anytime you get a road victory in the NFL, that's a big-time accomplishment, and to do it this convincingly, that just tears up the script that every home team has, which is nobody comes into our house and pushes us around. They took care of business today.
Yeah, they pushed around, and now the final stages of this one. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. Tackle made there by the safety, Derwin James. I don't want to overhype it, but this is a big early season game, especially an overtime win. That could give you a big boost going forward this season.
It certainly can, and I don't think you're overhyping it because cliches go out the window when you start to play overtime. And you're right, the winner of this game now, that's an extra boost moving forward. And it actually is an extra hurt for the team that loses because normally you shake it off. But in this situation, it lingers a little bit longer.